A very good morning, right? So it is now, I think, just after 5:30, and still daylight, so we still got summer. But ordinarily, when I go walking for exercise, I prefer to do it when it's dark. So in winter time, obviously, at this time it will be pitch black. So, motorists will be doing their own thing. And I can just, on the cover of darkness, do my exercise. Right, so my theme is going to be about fitness, kind of. And I hope I don't run out of air because I'm wearing the ankle weights. But I posted on Facebook, I was up early this morning, and I posted that in the late 80s, when I was in my early 20s, I used to go running every morning before work, even when it was snowing, even when there was snow on the ground, for exercise. And right, so this woman standing at the bus stop, and she just gave me a dirty look. Right, because you see, I'm wearing my hoodie and my ankle weights, and people have no idea what you're doing. Right, so that aside, yes, I posted that. That's what I used to do, but I posted it from the perspective of roll on, gosh, how many years? 30 years. Yeah, actually more than that. Roll on 30 odd years, let's say. And here I am outside walking for exercise at my age. And people, this is based on conversation, because I'm going to sort of come back to the woman thing. So in my early 20s, nobody batted an eyelid. I don't run now because I protect my joints. And I don't run, I walk. Even with my personal trainer, I requested it's high impact intensity training. And I requested that we don't do anything that involves jumping from, off the floor onto a high box, off a high box onto the floor. I don't do anything like that, because in my life it's not going to be necessary for me to need that skill. Right, so back then when I was exercising, it was no big deal. But now I'm exercising, and it could be regarded as an obsession, or that I'm trying to stay young, when in actual fact I'm just doing what I've always done. I was out yesterday, one of my friends who is a DJ, I met him recently, he invited me to come and have dinner with him. He was going to one of the local pubs, so I joined him, and after we finished I went to use the bathroom. I say bathroom because I'm ladylike as opposed to toilet. Right, so I went to use the bathroom, and there was a full-length mirror in there. I was wearing my shorts, these same shorts I've got on now. And right, so I had a look at my physique. Not obviously I have to qualify it, not for vain purposes, not because I'm vain, but it's like if you're creating something, you inspect it to see how it's coming along. So I pretty much am satisfied with how I look. Right? I'm very, very satisfied with how I look. Notice I say look, but I haven't achieved the level of fitness that I'm looking for as yet. And as well, I haven't started the fat burning process of my 1 year fitness program. So I give myself 1 year to get fit. We're not talking about keeping fit here. I'm talking about getting fit. So whereas people might look and tell me, which they do, that I'm fit, I personally haven't achieved my target. Right, so it's about my target. It's not about what other people think. Because it would be very easy to say, well, everybody thinks I look good, and then you stop. That's not my target. Or even you look good for your age. That's not my target. I have different standards. Right, so I'm out here wearing these weights and I'm sweating like nobody's business already. Right, one of the reasons why I do videos is so I can document facts, because it would be very easy to sit and type out what I'm saying here from under the comfort of the quilt on the sofa upon which I've been situated these past 2 years while in the process of looking after my sister. Right, so I'm going to turn back now. Taking my life into my hands, trying to run across the road wearing ankle weights. Right, so I don't need to go far because I'm pretty much in the shape that I want to be. But like I said, it's not a fat burning process. Gosh, where was I? Yes, so again, it's sort of like taking up, taking on board what other people say about you rather than what you have in mind for yourself, setting your own standards, your own targets, etc. So I document these things so that I can dredge them up later whenever a conversation comes up, because we live in a world full of excuse makers, and so the ultimate excuse that people would throw at me is that I'm self-obsessed or something, and they are not. So that's the reason they look how they look, and the reason I look how I look is because I'm self-obsessed or something. I was gonna make, because there's certain things I won't talk about because they're private, but the first thing, when I went on Facebook this morning, I had some notifications. And on my timeline, the first thing I saw, and I shared it on Facebook and on Instagram, was a 43-year-old woman called Wendy, who's looking for the perfect man. And the guys in the comments, the guys are ripping her to shreds. So I'm 13 years older than Wendy, and I'm not looking, but only the ideal man will do for me, the ideal man. So the difference is looking for the perfect man, if you're looking, and looking for the ideal man. So the ideal man should be the man that has most in common with you. So you have something to bring to his table, and he has something to bring to yours. But my last few videos have been about women, and I frankly find women ridiculous, which is why I say I don't keep friendships with them. The ones that I am friends with, we do friendship from a distance. So for example, none of them exercise. Right? None of the women that are my friends exercise. And I don't encourage them, because that's not what the friendship is about. We have conversation. We talk about things. But how they do life is up to them. They don't ask me anything about my life. So even I spoke to one of them, and I mentioned nothing to her about the events of Thursday at the gym, because for her it's too much information, right? So there are things that I will talk about and things that I won't talk about, depending on, how much energy I want to expend. So going back to this woman, she wants the perfect man, and which is typical. So my thing is this: I've got men of all ages pursuing me, and I don't wear makeup. I don't have false eyelashes. I don't have false hair. I don't have false anything. And yet, I get, in fact, sometimes I have to go into hiding. The other night, I don't think I mentioned it, but the other night, when I was coming back from dancing, this was like 2 weeks ago, a man got off the bus. He actually came off the bus and followed me to the front door, asking for a date. I don't know this man from anywhere. And I'm not shy about telling people my age. I've never ever in my life lied about my age. So it is one of those things where nothing is hidden. Like I said, I don't wear makeup. Not to say that I don't, but if you see me, you won't see me wearing makeup. I'll only do that if I'm going on a high-class night out and I want to enhance the look. Namely, I'm wearing 6-inch heels and a little dress. Right, so it's all about the look. But that's it really. What you see is what you get, kind of thing. So, whereas the men are mocking Wendy, there is no man on earth who can mock me, because I know my level. Right, so when we use the word inferior, it is seen as a bad thing. That, like we think, like the opposite of inferior is superior. But realistically speaking, those are the correct terms. If you know that your standards are superior to the next person's, there is nothing wrong with saying that. If you know that, the carer just drove past. I was trying to get back to sort of, all right, so basically I was waiting for the carer to arrive before I came out on the street walking. But she's finished before I got back. So that's why I sort of just went local and turned back. But it's all good. She's locked up and whatever. So now I can continue walking. All right, so I'm going to go the other direction. Yeah, where was I? Right, so if I am to say those women at the gym are inferior to me, that is a true statement, because we don't share the same standards. Their standards are inferior to mine. So I doubt there are many people up at this time in the morning, if any, walking up and down the street with weights strapped to their ankles to, well, like I said, it's fat burning, tone their legs. I doubt it very much, because for them, the gym is a social club. It's where they go to meet their friends. It was the same. You see, I'm walking and all these men are looking at me. They're not looking at my ankle weights, they're looking at my legs, because I'm wearing my hoodie. Right, so, right, yeah, there you go. Now, if I was fat, I wouldn't get that reaction, but I'm not out here looking for a man. I'm out here to exercise. And the reason I'm walking on the street, before I re-engage a personal trainer I think 2 months ago, we're now into the 3rd month, I was exercising on the stairs with weights, with ankle weights and 5 kg dumbbells. So that's, in total, that was 2 stones in old money. of extra weight. So if you like, I got myself fit to a certain point before I started with the personal trainer, because I have standards, right? So because wherever I go, I have this issue with women. They've changed the lighting system in my sister's building. So whereas as you came out, you put the light on yourself, they made it so that when you come outside, as soon as you step out your door or step inside the building, the light comes on, right? So they have sensors. And far be it from me, having just resigned from the gym, right? Far be it from me to put myself in a situation where, because I don't know which one of the neighbors could be triggered by Satan, because as I said in the spiritual aspects of describing what happened on Thursday with that woman in the pool, when people are less perfect, when people are less perfect, it is very easy for Satan to get into them and to do his dirty work. So my objective is to keep young and beautiful, I say with a smile on my face. But what will happen is this: anything good, if you're trying to do something good or useful, what happens is Satan will try to put a block on it. So rather than do my usual walk up the stairs with weights, I come out on the street, which is, nobody's gonna come on here, come to me on the pavement and say, excuse me, you're not allowed to walk out here. Nobody's gonna sort of say, come and say you're disturbing us. We can hear you going up and down the stairs. Or I'm trying to sleep and you keep making the lights come on. You see, nobody can say that. Therefore, I'm not in range of Satan. I mean, people might say, well, but somebody could attack you on the street. Somebody like who? Right? Because the energy that I walk with, this is why I'm not afraid to walk the street at night. I wasn't afraid when that man got off the bus and was pursuing me for a date. Right? I'm not afraid. I can walk the street any time of night and I do not worry. Obviously, I'm not going to purposely put myself in peril, but I can walk. If I need to be out on the road, I can be. Right? So, what time is it? It's just 3 minutes past 6 now. So just going back to that thing where I'm saying about superior, inferior. I know that my standards are superior. So when those men are mocking Wendy, age 43, who's looking for the perfect man, they wouldn't. I know none of those men would be suitable for me. Therefore, none of them could mock me. Right? So it's all right. Basically, if you put yourself in a situation where you make yourself ridiculous, of course people can mock you. But if it be when people come, I can only speak for myself. I don't know about anybody else, right? But when people come to realize what I'm about, I had one guy the other day and he was pursuing me, and he was doing it from a perspective that he is something and he's got something that he can offer me. But we had one conversation and he's not spoken to me since beyond to say hello. I mean, I won't see him anymore because I don't go to this gym. but they very soon realize that they're out of their depth. And there's nothing at all wrong with that. But it's when people try to drag you down, which sometimes people do, that is when it becomes a problem. So you see, I have zero tolerance when it comes to women, because that's what they do. They're like crabs in a basket, and they try to drag one another down. I posted something on Facebook before I came out when I was waiting for the carer. And as a woman, she's made a video, and it's like, this, I think it's for Instagram or TikTok. This is how I used to look. All my pictures and videos look like this, and it's like, the false hair, the makeup, the pout, everything. But then I discovered DIY, and it doesn't matter how I look now, because I'm just living, and I'm thinking garbage, right? I'm looking after my sister. I barely sleep. I mean, I've taken 2 weeks off, so I'm sleeping as it pleases me now for these 2 weeks, which expire on Wednesday. And I have to work I work around the clock sometimes. And I still find time to go and do my twice weekly training sessions, and at the time go to the gym and still maintain myself. These are look how my legs look, and they're not ready. I've still got the majority of this month left, plus 4 more months before my 1 year my 1 year target that I set myself expires. So I've got bags of time left to get in perfect shape, right? Some people would settle to look how I look right now, but that's the whole point about settling. And there are so many people out there sort of like pushing low standards, and there are people who themselves have low standards, who are very quick to attach themselves. So like I said, I'm out here and I'm doing this video right now for future reference, because you can see that I'm out and about walking with weights strapped to my ankles, right? So nobody's going to say, oh, you're lucky. I mean, they do tell me that anyway. Oh, yes, I'm lucky. Lucky at 5:30 in the morning to be walking around the streets of South Croydon, right? That's how lucky it gets for me, right? So I'm going to kind of wind up here just by saying that for me, Satan is the enemy, and he uses people. So I'm on my guard. So henceforth, I'm only going to exercise with the personal trainer Tuesdays and Thursdays in my sister's flat or out here on the streets, but not in any communal areas, not where there are people, because you never know which one of them Satan's going to use. Take care. Bye-bye.